A place where breakfast is with ants and where fish rain from the sky. This place is mysterious and surely you've never heard of it. Uganda is a country located in the eastern region of Africa, known as the Heart of Africa. It borders Kenya to the east, Tanzania and Rwanda to the south, the Democratic Republic of the Congo to the west, and South Sudan to the north. The capital of Uganda is Kampala, located in the central part of the country. Its population is 45 million people, and its territorial extent is 241,000 square kilometers. English is the official language of Uganda, but the country has over 40 local languages spoken by different ethnic groups. This country presents extremely curious exotic facts such as polygamy. Polygamy, the practice of having multiple spouses simultaneously, is legal in Uganda, with some caveats. Although permitted by law and practiced by some communities, polygamy raises complex and multifaceted issues in Ugandan society. It is estimated that about 10% of Ugandan families are polygamous, with higher prevalence in rural areas and among Muslim communities. Poverty, limited access to education, and traditional social norms are often cited as contributing factors to the practice of polygamy. The Customary Marriage Act of 1997 recognizes and regulates polygamy, allowing a man to have up to 4 wives under certain conditions. The consent of all wives is required to enter into a polygamous marriage. The law provides some protections to women in polygamous marriages, such as property and inheritance rights. The enforcement of polygamy law can be inconsistent, and women in polygamous marriages may face difficulties in accessing their rights. Some advocate polygamy as a way to increase offspring, strengthen family ties, and provide economic security for women. Critics of polygamy argue that it can lead to gender inequality, domestic violence, and violation of women's and children's rights. Polygamy remains a controversial issue in Uganda, with heated debates about its social, religious, and legal impacts. In many polygamous cases, women may face power imbalances, limited access to resources and opportunities, and increased risk of violence. Polygamy may be associated with higher rates of infant mortality, malnutrition, and maternal health problems. Children in polygamous families may have limited access to education and other opportunities due to resource division and parental attention. Urbanization, increasing levels of education, and the growing influence of Western values may be leading to a decline in the practice of polygamy. The women's empowerment movement in Uganda is challenging traditional gender norms and advocating for equality in all aspects of life, including marriage. Polygamy is also debated in the context of different religions present in Uganda, with varied interpretations and practices. What do you think about polygamy? Would you live with 5 African women in Uganda? Comment below. Much of northern and eastern Uganda is characterized by vast plains and savannas, which make up the East African Plateau region. These areas are generally drier and have grassy vegetation with scattered trees and are used for agriculture, mainly for the cultivation of staple foods such as maize, cassava, and sweet potatoes. The center of Uganda is dominated by the Buganda Plateau, a fertile and densely populated region that houses the capital, Kampala. This area is characterized by gentle hills and is the country's main agricultural region, known for its production of coffee, tea, cotton, and other cash crops. Located on the western border of Uganda with the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the Rwenzori Mountains, also known as the Mountains of the Moon, are a chain of steep, snowy peaks. Mount Stanley, with an altitude of 5,109 meters, is the country's highest point and offers stunning landscapes, glaciers, and rich biodiversity. Located on the border with Kenya, Mount Elgon is an ancient volcanic crater, reaching an altitude of about 4,321 meters. It is a protected area and home to a variety of fauna and flora species, as well as caves, waterfalls, and unique rock formations. Lake Victoria, the largest lake in Africa and the second largest freshwater lake in the world, dominates the southern border of Uganda. The lake plays a crucial role in the country's economy and ecology, providing drinking water, fishing, and transportation for communities around its shores. In addition to Lake Victoria, Uganda is dotted with a series of other smaller lakes, including Lake Kyoga, Lake Albert, and Lake Edward. Several rivers, such as the White Nile, the Blue Nile, and the Kagera River, flow through the country, providing vital water resources for agriculture and wildlife. In southwestern Uganda, near the border with Rwanda, lie the tropical forests of Bwindi Impenetrable National Park and Magahinga Gorilla National Park. These protected areas are home to a rich diversity of wildlife, including mountain gorillas, chimpanzees, elephants, and a variety of birds and primates. Before the arrival of Europeans, the region that is now Uganda was inhabited by various ethnic groups, such as the Baganda, Banyankole, Basoga, Acholi, Bakiga, among others. Society was organized into complex political and social structures, with kingdoms and local chiefdoms exercising authority over specific territories. The Kingdom of Buganda, led by the king, Kabaka, was one of the most powerful and influential in the region, establishing trade relations with Arabs and traders from the East African coast. From the late 19th century, Europeans began to explore and colonize the interior of Africa, including Uganda. The British established the Uganda Protectorate in 1894, consolidating their control over the region and imposing their laws and institutions. During the colonial period, the British introduced Western culture, the educational system, and the market economy in Uganda, while consolidating their authority through treaties and alliances with local leaders. Uganda gained independence from British colonial rule on October 9, 1962, with Milton Obote becoming the country's first prime minister and Sir Edward Mutesa II becoming president. Independence brought challenges, including ethnic and political tensions among different groups, territorial disputes, and economic issues. In 1966, Obote suspended the constitution, removed the president, and took power, establishing a one-party government and centralizing power in the hands of the central government at the expense of the region. In 1971, President Milton Obote was overthrown in a military coup led by Idi Amin Dada, who took control of the country. Idi Amin's regime was characterized by widespread human rights violations, political repression, expulsion of ethnic minorities, religious persecution, and corruption. Idi Amin's government was marked by political and economic instability, isolating Uganda internationally and leading to the deterioration of the population's living conditions. Idi Amin's regime came to an end in 1979 after an invasion led by Tanzania and supported by Ugandan exiles. The country went through a series of transitional governments and political conflicts until Yoweri Museveni came to power in 1986. The industrial sector in Uganda is developing, with activities such as food processing, manufacturing, construction, and mining. Food processing industries, such as sugar production, brewing, dairy products, and fruit processing, are particularly important. Additionally, the construction industry is growing, driven by infrastructure development and civil construction projects. Uganda has significant natural resources, including mineral deposits of gold, copper, oil, natural gas, and other minerals. The discovery of commercial reserves of oil and natural gas in the country in recent decades has brought promising prospects for Uganda's energy and natural resources sector. Although the development of these resources is still ongoing, tourism is a growing sector in Uganda's economy, driven by the country's rich biodiversity, stunning landscapes, national parks, and wildlife. Popular tourist destinations include Bwindi Impenetrable National Park and Queen Elizabeth National Park, which are known for their populations of mountain gorillas and wildlife safaris, respectively. The services sector plays an increasingly important role in Uganda's economy, especially in areas such as finance, telecommunications, trade, and transportation. The financial sector is expanding, with the growth of banks, microfinance institutions, and mobile payment services. Uganda has an open economy and relies heavily on foreign trade. Its major trading partners include countries in the region, such as Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda, as well as European and Asian countries. Uganda's exports include coffee, tea, flowers, fish, agricultural products, and minerals, while imports consist of manufactured goods, machinery, equipment, and petroleum products. Uganda faces a range of economic challenges, including widespread poverty, inadequate infrastructure, limited access to basic services such as health and education, and vulnerability to external shocks, such as fluctuations in commodity prices and extreme weather events. Uganda's GDP in 2023 was $45 billion, so we see that due to the high population and low wealth production, the country suffers economically and socially. The currency of Uganda is the Ugandan shilling, and $1 is equivalent to 3,700 Ugandan shillings. The cost of food for those living in Uganda is about $26 per month in rural areas, while living in cities you will spend about $60 on food. A family of 4 will cost about $80 a month for food. Pretty cheap, right? The cost of housing in Uganda's capital, Kampala, will range from $80 to $160 per month. Accommodations there are so affordable, as in the center of the capital of Uganda, luxury hotels go for less than $40 per day. Now check out this curiosity about Uganda. In central Uganda, some people consider winged ants as a delicate and nutritious delicacy, and it is common to find them being consumed for breakfast. In Uganda, winged ants, known as nasenene, larvae, in the local language, are the most popular for human consumption. They are collected during their breeding season when they come out of their nests in large numbers. The ant harvesting season usually occurs during the rainy months, between November and December. This is when ants leave the nests to mate and start new colonies. Ant collection is a community and traditional activity, where people gather to capture them as they fly around lights at night. Ants are attracted to light and end up falling onto cloths laid on the ground. After being collected, ants are washed to remove any dirt or debris. They are then fried in hot oil until crispy. Some people prefer to season them with salt or other spices before frying. Ants are considered a rich source of protein and nutrients, making them a valuable food option, especially in areas where other protein sources may be scarce. Many people appreciate the crunchy and nutty flavor of fried ants. Fried ants are commonly consumed for breakfast, often accompanied by ugali, a type of cornmeal porridge, or bread. They are also served as snacks at parties and special occasions. The consumption of ants is part of the culinary and cultural tradition of certain communities in Uganda, and their preparation and consumption are often surrounded by rituals and specific social practices. Furthermore, there are curious individuals who visit Uganda to participate in this culture, as breakfast with ants increasingly attracts the attention of tourists interested in experiencing local cuisine and exploring Uganda's unique food traditions. Some culinary tourism initiatives offer experiences where visitors can participate in the harvesting and preparation of ants. Additionally, women in Uganda exhibit a rich diversity of physical, emotional, and cultural characteristics shaped by their ethnic heritage, life experiences, and social context. It is important to recognize the individuality and multiplicity of identities within the group, avoiding generalizations and stereotypes. Uganda has more than 40 ethnic groups, each with its distinct physical characteristics. Generally, Ugandan women are known for their natural beauty, with dark skin, curly or kinky hair, curvaceous bodies, and striking features. Ethnic diversity is reflected in the variety of appearances of Ugandan women, from lighter to darker skin tones, different hair textures, and body structures. Traditional clothing, hairstyles, and accessories can enhance the beauty of Ugandan women, expressing their cultural identity and belonging to a specific group. Ugandan women are often described as strong and resilient, having overcome challenges and difficulties in their lives. They are known for their hospitality and warmth, welcoming visitors and showing affection and care. Many Ugandan women demonstrate great initiative and entrepreneurial spirit, seeking opportunities to sustain their families and contribute to the community. Ugandan women typically play a central role in child rearing, showing great love, care, and dedication to the family. Ugandan society is largely patriarchal, with men traditionally assuming the role of family head and provider. Women, on the other hand, take responsibility for household and family care. Ugandan women actively participate in various traditions and customs, such as wedding ceremonies, religious rituals, and cultural celebrations. Women play an important role in Uganda's artistic expression through music, dance, crafts, and other forms of art. Ugandan women are increasingly advocating for their rights and gender equality, challenging stereotypes and claiming opportunities in different areas of life. Women in Uganda still face challenges such as gender inequality, limited access to education and healthcare, and domestic violence. Movements for women's empowerment are gaining momentum, seeking to promote women's participation in society and defend their rights. Women also play a crucial role in preserving Ugandan culture and traditions, passing on values and knowledge to future generations. Other curiosities about Uganda are that motorcycle taxis, locally known as boda-bodas, are a popular and fast way to get around Uganda, although they are not always considered safe. Additionally, another very curious fact is that in the Rakai district, south of Uganda, it is reported that live fish fall from the sky during storms, a mysterious and intriguing phenomenon. Fish rain in Uganda is most often associated with the Rakai district, located in the southwest of the country, near the border with Tanzania. The phenomenon has also been reported in other parts of the country, but Rakai is the most well-known location for it. The proximity to Lake Victoria may be related to this phenomenon. Some scientists suggest that waterspouts, or whirlwinds, may occur on the lake, lifting fish and water into the air and then depositing them on land during storms. Although scientific explanations for this phenomenon are still not fully understood, some theories suggest that strong storms can cause the formation of whirlwinds that lift fish and other aquatic organisms from the lake, carrying them through the air before depositing them on land. The fish commonly reported in these rains are small and varied, including species such as carp, cyprinidae, and catfish, siluriforms. These species are common in Lake Victoria and its tributaries. In some communities in Uganda, fish rain is seen as an event of cultural or religious significance. Some interpret it as a divine sign or as a manifestation of nature spirits. The phenomenon of fish rain attracts the curiosity of tourists and researchers interested in witnessing this unique event. Some areas near where these rains occur may develop tourist infrastructure to accommodate interested visitors. Another curiosity is Murchison Falls Waterfall in Murchison Falls National Park, locally known as Kabalega Falls, and nicknamed the Blood Waterfall due to its reddish appearance caused by the reflection of sunlight on volcanic rocks. Lake Bunyonyi is known to be one of the few places in Uganda where mosquitoes are practically non-existent, making it an ideal refuge for tourists. Another obscure fact is that in Kampala, the capital of Uganda, there is a market specializing in products related to witchcraft and traditional medicine, where you can find everything from medicinal herbs to potion ingredients. Superstition plays a significant role in the daily lives of many Ugandans, with beliefs in spirits, witches, and amulets for protection against evil. Weddings in Uganda are often marked by lively traditional dances, such as the Kiganda wedding dance, which is an important part of the ceremony. In Buganda culture, one of the largest ethnic groups in Uganda, initiation ceremonies are held to mark the transition from youth to adulthood and include traditional rituals and cultural teachings. Banana beer, known as waragi, is a traditional alcoholic beverage traditionally made from banana fermentation and is consumed in various parts of Uganda. Banana trees are often grown in the courtyards of homes in Uganda, not only as a food source but also for cultural and aesthetic reasons. Ugandan cuisine reflects its ethnic diversity and availability of local ingredients. Popular dishes include matoke, cooked green bananas, posho, a type of cornmeal porridge, rolek, banana sausage, nyama choma, grilled meat, and ugali, a type of cornbread. Banana beer, known as waragi, is also a traditional drink. Indeed, Uganda is an African country with a very exotic culture, with practices that we foreigners find very strange, but that generates a lot of curiosity in many people around the world. What do you think about visiting, or maybe even adventuring and living in Uganda with all its African culture? Comment below. Well, I'll be leaving it here for now until the next video.